everyone, it's Laura from Aquamarine 18. Nice to see everyone after what feels like to me a long break. I haven't made a video in a while. I work in education, so September is a really busy time. I've been watching others' videos as much as I can, but I just haven't had time to pop on here between having a new tenant, renting in the room in my house, and I'm teaching a couple of new courses. I am commuting like about an hour for work. I didn't even make an August favorites video because I feel like my August was taken up with syllabus design. It's been a busy time for me. But I have some time today with the house to myself, and so I figured I would pop on and make this video anyway, and there might be a second one today, we'll see. But I wanted to make this one anyway. I've been enjoying a couple of folks have shared fall or seasonal decks that they like to work with in autumn or fall or Halloween time or Samhain time as we kind of approach that season. And I like these videos, and I know that they're quite popular videos of favorite decks for a particular purpose or a particular theme or something like that. So I thought that I would come on and share my handful of favorite fall or autumn decks, and I am inspired by Kim at Abundant Life Tarot shared her 7 tarot decks for fall and 7 oracle decks for fall in 2 separate videos, and I'll link both of hers below, as well as Cosmic Creepers Tube channel just shared autumn and dark decks for fall, and so I will link that video below as well. And I have some decks in common with both the other channels in terms of decks that I like to work with in fall, so I'm going to talk with them as I drink coffee out of my definitely not fall mug. I'm still like kind of waking up, and so I'm still caffeinating. But I thought I would share my fall or autumn decks, and I'm just going to do a couple of oracle decks first and then tarot decks second. I don't have enough decks to separate them into 2 separate videos. And yeah, I have a few in common with both, and then a few that are different as well. So these are my favorite fall and autumn decks, both that I plan to work with this season, and they're not brand new decks to me, any of them. So they're ones that I have worked with in fall and autumn seasons for the most part as well. And yeah, I'll share, I guess, my reasons for associating them with fall or autumn, because I actually don't have any decks that I would call like very strongly themed in the way that some of the decks that have been being shared as fall or autumn decks are. So like I don't have the Halloween Oracle, for instance, or any kind of Halloween themed decks or any witch themed decks or anything like that. These are just ones that for different reasons, some of it's kind of color scheme or just the feel for me feel like autumn or fall. And I don't necessarily only use them at that time, but they really resonate with this time of year for me. So I'll share the 2 oracle decks first. And I'll start with the one that I've been working with this month so far, which is the Supra Oracle, which is by Usi, the same publishers who have done the Pagan Otherworlds as well, which I also have. And this deck has these backs that are kind of brown and gold pattern. And this deck really, for me, there's nothing kind of glaringly autumnal about it, but the color scheme for me of the kind of sepia, black and brown with just little pops of color here and there feels something about it autumnal to me. I really like this deck. I find it it to be a deep deck, and I will say I wish that I liked the book more. I don't love the book that this deck came with. I find it's just written in a unnecessarily wordy way, which I don't love. But I love the imagery in this deck. I love the art style so much. And Usi deck, the cardstock is beautiful. It shuffles wonderfully. I really like that it doesn't feel like an overly positive or overly negative deck. Just single keywords. But the color scheme of this one really feels autumnal to me. So I've been using it with another tarot deck this month that is also a fall deck for me that I'll get to in a second. The other Oracle deck I'll share, which on Cosmic Creepers Tube she shared as a fall deck as well, is my Earthbound Oracle. And this one is by Andrew Liam Schwartz, who also did the Wooden Tarot, which I don't have. And the Earthbound Oracle was one of my first Oracle decks that I ever got. And I really love the style of this deck. It's paintings on wood, very nature-based. Come on, focus. I really like the imagery in this deck. I really like the balance of this deck. And something about it just feels like fall to me. I'm not sure if it's the kind of brown falling leaves kind of color scheme that makes it feel that way. But I really love this Oracle deck for fall. And I find that this deck too feels really neutral in the sense that I find that it pairs well with a lot of other decks. It looks great with a lot of other decks. I like that it's small. I have this very autumnal feeling bag which I made for it, and I really like to work with the Earthbound Oracle in the fall. So there's that one. Now I just have, how many in the pile? 4 tarot decks to share that I think of as fall or autumn decks for the most part for me. Anyway, and again, these may not seem like fall or autumn decks to someone else, I'm not sure. But this is the season that I tend to grab for these decks. And I'll share the first one that I've been working with this month, again, alongside the Super Oracle, is my Steampunk Tarot. And I have the Steampunk Tarot, the Czech language edition, which the Czech edition, unlike the English edition, comes with this awesome copper gilding, which it's shiny. I'm going to want it. And it wasn't actually that much more cost-wise than the English one for me. It came really quickly. I don't remember where I got it. I think I got it on the Book Depository, maybe? I'll have to look. Anyway, but this deck really goes with the Super Oracle in terms of the color schemes, I find. They weren't necessarily ones that I would have bought to go together, but now that I've been working with them together, they really work. And the Steampunk Tarot, I guess, is a kind of themed deck insofar as it's kind of a genre specific as a theme. But I find that this deck reads really well, and it's very, it's very shiny, as you can tell. I'll try to show the images. I find, again, that this has this kind of autumnal color scheme, lots of browns and golds and coppers. It's very, very Rider-Waite-Smith based, so the fact that it's in another language that I don't speak is not a barrier at all. It's quite clear who's who. That's the king. For me, anyway. And this feels like a really fall deck. And I love this deck. I love steampunk as a style. I love steampunk literature. I've made a little video introducing this deck before, which I got for my birthday back in March. But I found with getting it in March, I worked with it a bit then, and then this didn't really feel like a summery deck to me. So I kind of put it back on the shelf knowing I would get it back out, and now it's been my working deck for September. And that's been really great, and it's felt really well suited to that time. And 3 more. I will show 2 of them together since they're kind of, to me, a little bit of a family. Because these are my 2 Patrick Valenza decks. And I'm a big Patrick Valenza fan, and I can't wait for the Deviant Moon Oracle to come out. And I'm sure if I had Deviant Moon Oracle, it would be in this video too. But I don't. I do have the Deviant Moon Borderless Edition. And this is the mass market available Deviant Moon deck. I edged mine in black, just with Sharpie. And on Cosmic Creepers Tube, she was mentioning that she actually was interested in the bordered edition of the Deviant Moon. She, like me, has the borderless, but had received one card from the bordered edition from someone else and said, oh, I would really like, to use this bordered edition. And actually, as I have fallen in love with this deck, I actually feel the same. Not that I won't use the borderless. I love this deck. It was a deck that I wasn't sure if I would get along with, to be honest, and now I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? Of course I love this deck. My partner loves this deck also, and whenever we've done a reading together, it's like, pick this one. It's like, pick the death metal deck, and it's this one. And I love this deck, and I know like some folks will find this deck creepy. I don't really find it creepy at all. I find it has quite a sense of humor, actually, if anything. But I really, really love this deck. And it definitely feels a bit Halloween-y, a bit October, a bit autumnal, maybe like dark deck. So it was a dark deck. I don't think it's a scary deck or disturbing deck or anything like that. But I just love it so much. And I cannot wait for the Deviant Moon Oracle, because I know I will love that too, because I love this one. Can't wait. I also have Patrick Valenza's Trionfi della Luna. So this is the Marseille deck. And I got the paradoxical version, so it's like the mirrored colors. And I got the English text. To be quite honest, I got it because there was a sale. I like all of the versions of this. Like, I would have been very happy to have the non-paradoxical as well. Or one of the colored one. There's like a blue one and a purple one and so on. And the language wouldn't have bothered me any which direction either. But I like the paradoxical English version, which is the one that I got. And it's actually in order right now. So we'll just show a few of the majors. And this one feels like a fall deck to me as well. Oh, I just sent the deck flying. That's great. And then it has Marseille style minors. I don't know if I'm going to edit out that accidental deck drop. Probably not. Leave it in there. And my version has these moons on the back, which are great and reversible. And I had gotten this from Patrick's website, obviously. And when you get them from Patrick's website, sometimes there's extra cards. And so I got some extra cards from some of his other decks as well when I ordered this one. Okay, so it's 13 minutes. I'm doing good for time. Normally I'm making really long videos, but today not. I have one more autumnal or fall deck to show, and it's actually another Marseille style deck, which I keep in this box, which I've made myself out of cardboard and shiny paper. The box this deck comes in is huge, because the deck is huge, and this is Le Tarot Noir by Matthew Hakier, I think is the artist. And I don't have the original box with me. It's upstairs somewhere on the shelf. And it comes with a book as well. And this deck has gold gilding. The backs are these flowers there. I'm running out of spaces to put decks, showing too many. And this deck, I think part of it is the color scheme for sure. It has that kind of a lot of browns and coppers that are colors that I see around me a lot in the fall and the autumn as the trees change. But there's also just something about the faces in this deck, that there's something quite Tim Burton-y about this deck for me. And I've heard that there might be a pocket version of this deck coming out, which I will buy it in a second. Or not, maybe not pocket, but smaller, because these cards are massive, like compared to the Trionfi della Luna, which is a kind of standard tarot size. These are like really, really big, right? But I love these. And the only gripe I have with this deck is that the book, which only comes in French, totally fell apart after I read it like 3 sessions of reading. It was like, I don't know, stapled or something, like in a weird way, and it just didn't stand up to any kind of use at all, which sucks. But other than that, I love the personality of this deck. I love the style of the artwork. I love the faces in this deck. There's just something so charming about them, I think. Queen of Cups. Temperance. I love these so much. And with the color scheme again, this feels like a really autumnal or fall deck to me. So those are my fall and autumn tarot and oracle decks, little assortment. I've really enjoyed seeing the few videos other folks have made about their fall decks. And so I would love to hear if you have particular decks you associate with fall or autumn. You could make a video sharing them as well, or feel free to share in the comments if you have favorite fall decks, and do check out the other videos that I've linked below in their fall deck collections as well. Thanks for watching and have a great day. See you soon. Bye.